So a very good morning dear students, welcome to my channel Maths with Mahanti sir. Children, in the last class we were discussing theorem 10.7 of the chapter circles, where we had proved geometrically that if two chords are equidistant from the center, then they are of equal length. Chords which are equidistant from the center are of equal length. Its truth was proved geometrically by me in the last class, and I am sure you must have understood it. Okay. So today we will discuss another important geometrical truth in terms of a theorem, that is theorem 10.8. So what is the statement of theorem 10.8? See, the statement is, see, I have drawn three figures. Theorem 10.8, you see, theorem 10.8. So what is the statement? Look at the first figure. There are three figures I have drawn. Look at the first figure. In this figure, see, PQ is an arc. Look at. In this figure also PQ is an arc, but you see here the arc is a semicircle. Look at, this is the center of the circle, O is the center of the circle, PQ is a diameter. So clearly this is also an arc. You know what is an arc? Arc is a part of the circle. Any part of the circle is called an arc. So here the arc PQ is a semicircle. Here look at the arc PQ, it is a minor arc. See, this is a minor arc. Here the arc PQ represents a semicircle, and in this figure look at the arc PQ. Which is arc PQ? This one is the arc PQ. See, I am drawing arrow so that you will understand. See, here PQ is a minor arc of the circle. In this figure PQ is what? It is a semicircle. The arc PQ is a semicircle. And in this figure, the arc PQ is a what? It is a major arc. Okay, you know what is major arc, minor arc, I have discussed everything. Now children, you see, if this is an arc, it is minor. Now look at the two endpoints of the arc. The two endpoints of the arc are P and Q. Now suppose these 2 points, they are joined to another point on the other part. You see, this is one part of the arc, this minor arc. These two endpoints P and Q, which are the two endpoints of the minor arc, what? PQ, and R is a point lying on the remaining part of the circle. Okay. Now if the two endpoints are joined to this point R, you will get an angle here. See, look at the angle PRQ. Look at angle PRQ. What is angle PRQ? Angle PRQ is the angle subtended by this minor arc. You see, that means this minor arc PQ subtends this angle PRQ on the remaining part, and at the center, suppose this center, look at. Now this is the minor arc, the two endpoints are P and Q. First you join the two endpoints to the center. If you join the two endpoints of the minor arc to the center, you will get one angle at the center. So angle POQ is the angle subtended by this arc, minor arc PQ at the center. And if R is taken as a point on the remaining part of the circle, and if we join the two endpoints of the minor arc PQ to R, we will get another angle PRQ. So what I mean to say, children, that means this is the angle subtended by this arc at the center, and angle PRQ is the angle subtended by the same minor arc on the remaining part of the circle. Now the point is, what is the relation between? What will be the relation between this angle and this angle? That is angle POQ and angle PRQ. So that is what theorem 10.8 is. So theorem 10.8 says that the angle subtended by an arc, at the center, which is your POQ, angle POQ, is double or twice, you can say. It is double or twice the angle subtended by the same arc on the remaining part of the circle. That means whatever angle this minor arc forms at the center will be double or twice the angle subtended by this minor arc on the remaining part. I hope children you understood the statement. The angle subtended by an arc of a circle is at the center is double or twice the remaining, the angle subtended by the same arc on the remaining part. So that means we have to prove that this angle equal to 2 into PRQ. This is what we want to prove. You see, we want to prove that this angle POQ is double this angle, because this is the angle subtended by the minor arc PQ at the center, and angle PRQ is the angle subtended by the same arc PQ on the remaining part of the circle, that is at R. Okay, so how will we prove that this angle is double this angle? Okay, now children, this can be proved in three ways. There are three cases in order to prove this, because as I told you, the arc may be minor arc. See, here the arc is a semicircle and here the arc is a major arc. In all the three cases, this is true, that angle subtended by an arc, whether it is a semicircle or a minor arc or a major arc, whatever angle it will form or subtend at the center will be double the angle subtended on the remaining part of the circle. Let us see how to prove it. Now to prove it, this is to prove, given is only a circle, you see, given is what? Given is, you can write given minor arc, you see, arc your PQ, arc PQ subtends which angle? Angle POQ at the center, and angle PRQ on remaining part of the circle. Okay, this is given. This is what we are given, and we have to prove that this angle is double this angle or twice. Let us see how to prove. In order to prove it, we have to do some construction. What is construction? Join RO. We have to do some construction. What is the construction? You see, the construction is join RO. O is the center of the circle. Join RO and produce it up to M. Suppose this is M outside the circle. Join RO and produce it to M, where M is a point outside the circle. Okay, so this is the construction. Without construction we cannot prove it. Now let us see the proof. How to prove that angle subtended by this minor arc PQ is double or twice the angle subtended by the same minor arc on the remaining part of the circle, that is at the point R. How to prove? Let us see. See children, when we draw this one, look at. Now we will prove this one in three different cases, as I told you, because the arcs may be what? The arc may be a minor arc, the arc may be a semicircle, the arc may be a what? Major arc. If you can prove it for one, then it is true. It will be true for the other two cases. Okay. So let us do the proof for first case. You see, case 1. This theorem can be proved for three cases, because the arc may be a what? It may be a minor arc, it may be a semicircle, it may be a major arc. Suppose PQ arc, suppose PQ is minor arc, you see. If PQ is minor arc, you see. How to prove that this angle, I mean this arc will subtend this angle at the center and angle PRQ on the remaining part? How will you prove that angle POQ is double angle PRQ? Let us see how. See children, look at triangle OPR. See, in triangle OPR, consider triangle OPR. See, in OPR, look at, this angle is exterior. Which angle? Angle POM. So exterior angle POM. You know what is the relation between an exterior angle and its two interior opposite angles? See, in this triangle, in triangle POR, this angle is exterior. Suppose this is angle 1. Better you don't denote it 1 and 2. Let us denote it. Why to write exterior angle POM? Let us denote it 1. See, angle 1 is exterior, and this one, angle OPR and angle ORP. These are what angles? These are interior opposite angles. And you know that an exterior angle is always equal to sum of the interior opposite angles in a triangle, which is known as your exterior angle property, what we had read in class 7. Okay. Whenever an exterior angle is formed by producing one of the sides, that exterior angle will be equal to sum of the interior opposite angles. So in this triangle, in triangle OPR, angle 1 will be equal to angle OPR plus angle ORP. What is the reason? The reason is because exterior angle equal to sum of interior opposite angles. Okay, this is the region. Okay, now 1 equal to this angle plus this angle. Now again you consider triangle OPQ. In triangle OPQ, see, in triangle ORQ, in triangle ORQ, which is exterior, clearly angle 2 is exterior, and these two angles are interior opposite. Which one? OQR and ORQ. So angle 2 will be equal to angle your ORQ plus angle OQR. See, in this triangle ORQ, angle 2 is exterior, and this angle OQR and ORQ are interior opposite. So angle 2 will be equal to angle ORQ plus angle OQR. In triangle OPR, angle 1 is exterior. You see this one is exterior. So angle 1 will be equal to angle OPR plus angle ORP, what I have written here. Okay. So now what will be our next step? What to do? Now you add the two equations. This is one equation. See, suppose this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Now you add, on adding equation 1 and 2, what we will get? Therefore 1 plus 2, look at what we will get. 1 plus 2 will be equal to angle OPR plus angle ORQ, see, plus ORP, angle ORP plus angle OQR. Okay, see, so after you finding each exterior angle in both the triangles, you add the two equations. What you will get? This 1 plus 2, angle 1 plus angle 2 will be equal to angle OPR plus angle ORQ plus angle ORP plus angle OQR. Now see, children, mark one thing. Now here OP and OR, see, OP equal to OR. Why? Because they are the same radii. But you see, I am writing here, but OP equal to OR and OQ equal to OR and OQ equal to OR, because they are the same radii of the same circle. Okay, now see, if OP equal to OR, then this angle will be equal to this angle, because OPR is an what triangle? OPR is an isosceles triangle. Therefore you see, so angle OPR will be equal to angle ORP. OPR will be equal to angle ORP, because OP equal to OR, as they represent the same radii of the same circle, and if OQ equal to OR, then angle ORQ, see, angle ORQ will be equal to angle OQR. Okay. Now let us come to the point. See, now what we got? You see, we got 1 plus 2. See, look at this equation. Angle 1 plus 2 equal to angle OPR plus angle ORQ plus angle ORP plus angle OQR. Okay. Now OR, you see, ORP, look at ORP equal to OPR. So in place of, you see, in place of this angle OPR, in place of OPR, we can write what? We can write ORP. So let us put this value in this equation. Therefore, you see, therefore 1 plus 2 will be equal to how much? 1 plus 2 will be equal to, now I am rubbing the figure, see, therefore 1 plus 2 will be equal to how much? You see, 1 plus 2 is OPR plus ORQ. Write the equation once again. OPR plus ORQ plus OPR plus ORP plus your OQR. Okay. Now this is the original equation. Now let us put the values. You see, here OPR equal to ORP. ORP. So in place of OPR we can write ORP. So write down this is ORP and bring this ORP, rearrange ORP. Okay, now plus you see ORQ. ORQ, this is OQR. Look at OQR. Angle OQR is again equal to ORQ. OQR is equal to angle ORQ. So in place of angle OQR we can write angle ORQ. Now see, plus this is ORQ. This angle, in place of OQR you write again ORQ. Very simple. See. So what did we get? See. So angle 1 plus 2 is equal to angle ORP plus angle ORP plus again ORQ plus angle ORQ. That means this is 2 into angle ORP plus ORP, it will be 2 ORP plus angle ORQ plus ORQ, it will be 2 angle or twice angle ORQ. Now you take common 2 angle ORP plus 2 angle ORQ. So take 2 common. If you take 2 common, what will you get? You will get angle ORP plus angle ORQ. Q. Now see, if you add these two, angle ORP plus angle ORQ, you see this is P. So ORP plus ORQ, it will give you which angle? Angle PRQ. See, the first figure I have dropped, the second figure, look at the second figure, no problem. Angle ORP plus angle ORQ, it will give you angle PRQ. See, ORP plus ORQ, it will be equal to angle PRQ. That means 2 into angle PRQ. See, and angle 1 plus 2, what does angle 1 plus 2 represent? You see, 1 plus 2 means this is 1, this is 2. 1 plus 2 will be equal to which angle? POQ. In the figure which I had drawn, this was the figure, I am drawing once again. See, this was the figure for minor arc. You see, this is P, this is Q, this is R. Okay, this is P, this is Q, this is R. You see, this was the figure. This angle is 1, this angle is 2. Now if we add, this is the center. Now if we add angle 1 and 2, which angle we will get? We will get angle POQ. If we add angle 1 and 2, which angle will we get? We will get angle POQ. So in place of 1 plus 2, angle 1 plus angle 2, we can write angle POQ. Okay. This is the minor arc. We are considering the proof of this theorem only for minor arc PQ. When PQ is a minor arc, how to prove that angle subtended by this minor arc at the center is double or twice the angle subtended by the same arc on the remaining part, that we are discussing. And if it is true for minor arc, it is also true for your semicircle, when the arc is a semicircle and when the arc is a major arc. There is no need to prove the other two cases. Because if it is true for one case, it will also automatically be true by induction. It will automatically be true for the other two cases. That is when the arc is a major arc and when the arc is a semicircle. There is no need to prove. You can prove it for one case only. That is for minor arc. Okay. So when PQ is a minor arc, how will you prove that angle subtended by this minor arc at the center is double the angle subtended by the same minor arc on the remaining part of the circle at some other point, say R. Okay. So we got the result. Angle 1 plus 2 equal to which angle? It is equal to angle POQ. See. So this is what we wanted to prove. This is what we wanted to prove. We wanted to prove that the angle subtended by a minor arc at the center, the angle subtended by an arc, may be minor, may be major, may be semicircle. The angle subtended by an arc at the center is always double the angle subtended by the same arc on the remaining part. This is the proof. This is the complete geometrical proof. Of course, I have considered only one case, that is what? When the arc is a minor arc. You can, in a similar manner, if you wish, you can prove here. Taking PQ as a semicircle, taking the arc PQ as a semicircle and considering the arc PQ as a semicircle and proceeding in a similar manner, you can easily prove that angle subtended by the semicircle at the center is double the angle subtended by the same arc. I mean same circle, semicircle on the remaining part. And again, the third case, by considering the arc as a what? Major arc. By considering a major arc, you see PQ. Considering PQ as a major arc and proceeding in a similar manner, you can easily prove that angle subtended by the major arc at the center is double the angle subtended by the same major arc on the remaining part. So from these children we came to know that whatever angle an arc, whether minor, major or semicircle, subtends at the center, it will always be double or twice the angle subtended by the same arc on the remaining part. Okay, this is a very important theorem which generally comes in the exam. Children, you can prove this theorem. I proved only by considering only the arc as minor. You can prove it by taking major arc, semicircle and minor arc, all the three, or you can prove it only by taking the minor arc, no problem. Okay, so this is what about this is what your theorem 10.8 is. Okay, so there are some other theorems also which we will discuss in the next class. Children, I hope you must have understood whatever I discussed. If at all it is true, if you understood theorem 10.8 and if you think yes, what Mohanty sir is explaining very nicely and we are able to understand, then please hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Okay, so we shall meet in the next class with the discussion of some other theorem. Okay, thank you.